Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome freaking back. As you guys can see by the title and the thumbnail of this video, it's a new month, it's February. So let's talk about what books we're going to be reading this month, aka my TBR. So, obviously, we're going to try to be sticking strictly to romance this month. We're going to try to be reading as many romances as we possibly can because, I mean, it's the romance month, why not? So, most of these books are romance. One of them is not. I think only one of them. Yeah, one of them is not. So, we'll talk about the one that is not first. So, the first book that I'm going to be reading in the month of February is The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. So I will read you guys what is on the inside of this. It says, it is 1939, Nazi Germany. The country is holding its breath. Death has never been busier and will become busier still. Liesel Meminger finds her life changed when she unearths a single object from the snow. It is the gravedigger's handbook, left there by accident at her brother's funeral, and it is her first act of book thievery. But these are dangerous times. When Liesel's foster family hides a Jewish man in their basement, Liesel's world is both opened up and closed down. In superbly crafted prose that burns with intensity, award-winning author Markus Zusak has given us one of the most enduring stories of our time. So this one is obviously set while the world is absolutely going to shit, and I feel like this is the perfect book to read right now. I'm not going to dive too much into that, but I do feel like it is the perfect time to read this book right now. But anyway, I'm not going to talk your ear off about that, but obviously this one follows a young girl while they are in Nazi Germany, and she is obviously book thieving, and I have read a few pages of this so far. I'm currently on page 56, but I'm loving this. Cannot wait to continue into this month. But yeah, I would just highly recommend picking up any banned book this month. Then the next book that I'm going to be reading is Sex and the City by Candace Bushnell. I think that's how you say it. Bushnell? Is it Bushnell? Bushnell? Anyway, we have probably all seen the TV show. We've all heard about Sex and the City, so I very much so want to pick this up this month. It's a pretty short book. It's only I forgot about that name of that chapter. I read this book so long ago. But this book is 289 pages. It's a pretty short book. It's a pretty easy book to read, and I think it will be a fun little escape book, like an escape into that perfect era of New York City, and yeah, that's kind of what I want. But anyway, I'll read you what's on the back of this. It says, welcome to the age of uninnocence. Enter a world where the sometimes shocking and often hilarious mating habits of the privileged are exposed by a true insider. In essays drawn from her witty and sometimes brutally candid column in the New York Observer, Candace Bushnell introduces us to the young and beautiful who travel in packs from parties to bars to clubs. Meet Carrie, the quintessential young writer looking for love in all the wrong places. Mr. Big, the business tycoon who drifts from one relationship to another. Samantha Jones, a 40-ish successful testosterone woman who uses sex like a man, not to mention psycho moms, bicycle boys, international crazy girls, and the rest of the New Yorkers who inspired one of the most watched TV series of our time. So I picked this one up at a $5 fill-a-bag at the library. I obviously have read this, I've obviously watched the show, but the second that I saw that this was at a $5 fill-a-bag, I had to grab it because I needed the book on my bookshelves. So this is definitely going to be a read this month. Then I picked this book up so long ago. I don't even remember how long ago, and I don't even remember where I picked it up at. But it is Very Sincerely Yours by Carrie Winfrey. I've never read anything by this author, but this book looks so cute. It's the author of Waiting for Tom Hanks. Once again, have never read anything by her, so I'm really intrigued to see what's in this. Also, the cover of this book is just absolutely precious. It's got a little typewriter on it. I don't know, I'm really excited to read this. But the back of it says, hold on, there's a hair on my face and it's tickling me and I can't. Stupid. Anyway, the back of this says, a charming and heartwarming new romantic comedy by the acclaimed author of Waiting for Tom Hanks, Carrie Winfrey. Teddy Phillips never thought she would still be spending every day surrounded by toys at almost 30 years old. But working at a vintage toy store is pretty much all she has going on in her life after being unceremoniously dumped by her longtime boyfriend. The one joy that she has kept in her not-so-guilty pleasure, Everett's Place, a local children's show hosted by Everett St. James, a man whom Teddy finds very soothing and, okay, cute. Teddy finds the courage to write him, feeling slightly like one of the children who write to him on his show. He always gives sound advice and seems like he has everything figured out, and he pretty much does. Everett has a great support system, wonderful friends, and his dream job, but there is still that persistent feeling in the back of his mind that something is missing. When a woman named Theodora starts writing to Everett, he is drawn to her honesty and vulnerability. They continue writing to each other, all the while living their lives without meeting. When their worlds collide, however, they must both let go of their fears and figure out what they truly want, and if the future they want includes each other. So I think this is going to be really cute. I think I'm definitely going to be picking this one up pretty early in the month of February because it just seems like one that I'm going to be entirely too excited to wait for. Then the next book that we're going to get into, I know that this one's going to break my heart into pieces because number one, of the author, and number two, because of the fact that I already read the back of this book, so I know it's going to hurt my heart. Anyway, I'm going to be reading The Things We Do for Love by Kristen Hanna. It sounds all cute and fluffy, huh? Doesn't it? Well, let me read the back for you. Years of trying unsuccessfully to conceive a child have broken more than Angie Desaria's heart. Following a painful divorce, she moves back to her small Pacific Northwest hometown and takes over management of her family's restaurant. In West End, where life rises and falls like the tides, Angie's fortunes will drastically change yet again when she meets and befriends a troubled young woman. Angie hires Lauren Robito because she sees something special in the 17-year-old. They quickly form a deep bond, and when Lauren is abandoned by her mother, Angie offers the girl a place to stay. But nothing could have prepared Angie for the far-reaching repercussions of this act of kindness. Together, these two women, one who longs for a child and the other who longs for a mother's love, will be tested in ways that neither of them could have imagined. I think this is going to be devastating, but I also think that it's going to be absolutely beautiful. I know that it's going to break my heart because every single Kristen Hanna book that I've read so far has. So, oh my goodness, everyone's Snapchatting me. Anyway, I'm really excited to read this one and get to this one. Then the last book that we're going to be getting to in the month of February, I am super excited to get to this one. It is Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. This one is not going to be part of the Jane Austen series, but I am reading it anyway. This one is such a beautiful edition. I'll put up a video of the entire collection that I got for Christmas on the screen over my voice, because you don't need to be seeing me trying to figure out what words I'm going to be using next. But this is such a beautiful edition. If you didn't get to see on the video that I just took, this is the edge of Mansfield Park, and then if you open up, you can also see it continues into the actual book as well. It is absolutely one of my favorite like prized possessions that I own right now. Like, I want it to be just everywhere. I want it to be in a beautiful box, just displayed for every single person in the world to see, because I think it is just absolutely gorgeous. But let's talk about the books that I'm going to be reading again, just all the way through. So we're going to be reading Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. We're going to be reading The Things We Do for Love by Kristen Hanna. We're going to be reading Very Sincerely Yours by Carrie Winfrey. We're going to be reading Sex and the City by Candace Bushnell. And we're also going to be reading The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. So these are all of the books that I am going to be reading in the month of February. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you leave a comment downstairs. Make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.